You know, the dream of living a longer, healthier life, it's as old as we are. It's the stuff of myths and legends, but for the last century or so, it's also been the focus of some very, very serious science. But what if a major piece of that puzzle has been hiding in plain sight this whole time, tucked away inside a single protein nobody was really paying attention to? Just imagine, for a second, a single therapy that doesn't just treat one disease at a time, but actually goes after the aging process itself. I know, sounds like something straight out of science fiction, right? But it's the very real, very tantalizing possibility at the heart of some truly mind-blowing new research.
So when we talk about anti-aging research, the real goal isn't just about a longer lifespan, it's about a longer health span. Staying healthy, staying active, and really living well for as many of those years as we can. But man, cracking that code has been a massive scientific puzzle.
And it's a puzzle we've really struggled with. For decades now, researchers have been on the hunt for that silver bullet intervention. But real, consistent success? It's been pretty hard to come by, especially finding treatments that work just as well for both males and females.
So where did this huge breakthrough come from? Well, it wasn't from some grand master plan to cure aging. Nope. Like so many great discoveries, this one started with a total accident. A clue that was found completely by chance.
All right, let's meet our main character, interleukin-11, or IL-11 for short. It's a protein called a cytokine, which basically means it's a messenger between our cells, and until now, it was really only known for causing trouble, promoting inflammation and fibrosis, which is that nasty scarring that can happen in our organs. It was definitely not on anyone's anti-aging radar.
And here it is. This was the big aha moment. Dr. Widjaja's team wasn't even studying aging at the time. They were looking at tissue scarring. But as she said, by pure serendipity, she just happened to notice that the levels of this IL-11 protein were way, way higher in the hearts of old rats. It was a completely unexpected connection.
And that one accidental observation just sparked this huge new question. The team started to wonder, what if this isn't just a coincidence? What if this protein, this IL-11 that's known for causing inflammation and scarring, was actually one of the hidden drivers of aging itself?
So with this powerful new idea in hand, the team did what all good scientists do. They rolled up their sleeves and designed a whole series of really rigorous experiments to see if their hunch was actually right.
First up, they turned to genetics. They compared your standard lab mice to these special knockout mice, which are engineered so their bodies just can't make IL-11. And the results? They were absolutely stunning. The normal mice aged just like you'd expect, but the mice without IL-11, they were protected. They'd pretty much dodged all the typical metabolic problems and cellular damage that comes with old age.
Now, obviously, genetically engineering people isn't a practical solution, so this next step was crucial. Could they get the same amazing results with something more like a drug? They took mice that were already middle-aged, basically the equivalent of a 55-year-old person, and started giving them a monthly antibody treatment that blocks IL-11. And then they just watched.
Okay, this is it. This is the moment of truth in any aging study. They had a really promising target, they had a potential therapy, but the big question remained, would it actually make the animals live longer, healthier lives? What they found was nothing short of a breakthrough.
I mean, this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? After all that, did this antibody therapy, started in mice that were already well into adulthood, did it actually extend their lives?
The answer was a massive, resounding yes. The therapy extended their median lifespan by almost 20%. To put that in human terms for a second, that would be like adding over 15 years to the average person's life. In the world of aging research, a number like that, it's monumental. It's a huge flashing sign that you're onto something incredibly important.
And the finding was just so solid. This was no fluke. It worked whether they blocked IL-11 with genetics from birth or with a drug in middle age. And, this is so critical, it worked just as well in both male and female mice. That is a major hurdle where a lot of other anti-aging ideas have completely fallen flat.
Okay, so the results in mice are absolutely spectacular. But what could this all mean for humans? I mean, can this discovery ever make the leap from the lab into the clinic?
This therapy wasn't just about adding more years to the clock. It was about adding more healthy years. The mice they treated were just objectively healthier. Their metabolism was better, they were less frail, they had less scarring in their organs, less inflammation, they even had fewer tumors. They weren't just living longer, they were truly aging better. Of course, we have to be realistic. The leap from mice to humans is always a huge one, but the early signs here are really promising. The anti-IL-11 therapy seem to be safe in these studies, and that is always the first most crucial step on that long road toward a potential human treatment.
There is still a ton of research to do, but it is really hard not to get excited about this. This study is suggesting that by targeting just one single inflammatory protein, you can set off this whole cascade of anti-aging effects that extend both health and life. So it leaves us with this incredible question. Are we looking at one of the most significant anti-aging targets ever found? Only time's going to tell.